Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the EHF Youth Championship group stage draw for season 21. Today we'll have a big announcement regarding the tournament format because this season 21, will be the last season with the current group stage and knockout stage format. And since at the start of the next season, we'll switch to the so-called Swiss league or Swiss system format, where we'll be more flexible and we could potentially accommodate more than 32 teams, because this season a few teams didn't make it, and we have a lot, well, not a lot, but maybe 6 or 8 teams in the reserves. Of course, they are second teams of the managers, but they could potentially be playing in the tournament with the new format once it's introduced, of course. Hello to everyone who have joined the stream. We see the current champion, and you like the intro. I I haven't doubt about that. But yeah, before we start with the draw, I will try to present you the new system, which I have made right here. A few scenarios with 32 teams. If of course we have 32 teams, the new system will look like this. So once again, the teams will be divided into 4 drawing pots according to their EHF Youth rating, which is based on the team's performances in the previous 5 editions of the tournament. So the top performing teams will be in the first drawing pot, and all the newcomers and the teams who haven't been performing well in the last 5 seasons will be in the fourth drawing pot. And of course, you can see here the biggest addition in the new format will be that all the teams will be playing 2 home games and 2 away games, which we all know, that is something very important in the youth academies, since we cannot play friendly matches in neutral stadiums. So let's, for example, the teams from the first drawing pot will play at home in the first round. In the second round, they will be playing away match against the teams from the fourth drawing pot. In round 3, there will be a bit of a shuffle because, for example, let's take an example with team number 1. They will be playing 2 away games, back-to-back away games, and in round 4, they will play their second home match against team number 5. So, as you can see, all the teams will be playing 2 home and 2 away games. With the new system, we could potentially accommodate 34 teams, and this is how the fixtures will look like. As you can see, we always have teams from the second and the third drawing pot playing against each other. But for example, in round 1, those teams will be team number 26 and team number 17. Then in the second round, we'll have different teams, of course, team number 25 and team number 9. Then we'll have team 18. Of course, team 18 will be playing their second match against a team from the second drawing pot. But of course, this cannot be avoided, or at least I haven't thought of a way to avoid it. And then in the final round, team number 14 will play against team number 19. Again, 2 teams from the second and third drawing pot will play against each other. But of course, no team from the second pot will play a second game against a team from the third drawing pot. I mean, in the first stage of the tournament. Of course, we could have potentially 36 teams as well, and the fixtures would look like this. Again, we have each team playing 2 home games and 2 away games. and there is a bit of a special mix here in the third and fourth round. But again, we can see, let's take an example with team number 19. They will be playing a home game here, then they have an away game here, another away game here, and another home game here. And they won't be playing against the same opponents twice in the first stage of the tournament. And of course, we have another scenario where we could have potentially 38 teams. Once again, we have a few exceptions here in the third and the fourth round, and a few exceptions here as well. But as I said, I haven't thought a way that we could avoid, like, for example, teams from the second pot to play against like all the other drawing pots, because you can see right here there are 10 teams, but right here they are 9, and actually we cannot do it's not an even number, so they cannot all play against each other from the first drawing pot. They need to have one of the teams is being left. But yeah, this change will I mean, the first stage of the tournament, like we have the group stage now, won't be 3 rounds anymore. It will be 4 rounds, but the knockout stage would remain the same, and there will be a slight change, of course. So we will see the playoffs will be generated according to like it's in the NBA. So we have the first ranked team. They will have the home advantage in the round of 16, and they will play again. They will play against the 16th in the ranking. We have the second ranked against the 15th, and so on. So you can see places from first to 8 will have the home advantage. It's pretty much similar to the group stage, where we have the group winners having the home advantage in the round of 16, and the second place teams playing away from home. It's pretty much the same right here, and all the way down the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the final. But this way, like it is right here, the first place team from the first stage of the tournament and the second place team from that stage, they can only meet if they reach the final. So basically, we have this like a separate bracket, matches from 5th to 8th, and then from the first match to the fourth match, it will be another bracket. Of course, all this I will try to make it like even more prettier than this, and we'll publish it in the forum, so you guys can of course check it out, share your thoughts. Maybe if I missed something, or maybe you have an idea how to improve it, of course you can all feel free to comment. And yeah, I'm open for ideas. But I will start to rework the website in order to be able to accommodate that new format. Of course, I showed you the option with the 38 teams. Of course, we could have 40 teams as well, and we're back with scenario 1 in case we have 40 teams in the tournament. So then we could have 42, then we're in scenario 2, and so on. But basically, the only requirement in this system is to have an even number of teams in the tournament, because otherwise there could be a team like skipping around, and I'm not a big fan of that, as you know. I want all the teams to play in each round until they don't get knocked out of the competition. So that's about it for the new format. I hope that it was understandable. And as I said, I will post all that information, make it prettier, and I'll post it in the forum so you guys can comment on that. So now let's move on to the group stage draw, the more exciting part of this live stream. I hope everything is well with the audio. You can hear me well. And before we start with the draw, I will try to quickly explain how the process will go. So we have, as you know, 32 teams as always so far, and they will be split into 4 drawing pots. The teams, the pots will be based on the team's ranking, so you can see the ranking here, and teams placed on first position up to 8th position will be in the first drawing pot. Then from position number 9 to position number 16 will be in the second drawing pot, and so on. Yeah, we have all the newcomers in the fourth drawing pot. Each team will be drawn, like, for example, first we'll draw Group A, then we'll draw Group B, Group C, Group D, and so on until all the groups are filled with teams. And I think that pretty much covers the procedure. Now let's have a look at the teams. In the first drawing pot, we have the current champions, Sperber-Kreisel from Germany. They have won the competition for the second time after they've done it in season 17. We have FC Mela from Estonia, Pionski, another former champion from Poland, Redeli Konakia from Greece, the Mini Shakers from England, Mariottini from Italy, the Rascals from Finland, and Gosti is Mostara from Herzegovina. And for the draw, we'll be using the willdecide.com website. I have all the teams filled up right here, as you can see, and we'll start spinning the wheel as we did last season. So let's see which team will go into Group A. And it's going to be FC Mela from Estonia. So FC Mela are going in Group A. Now moving on to Group B, we'll have the champions from Germany, Sperber-Kreisel. They will be in Group B. Next up is Group C. We have the Mini Shakers from England. Then in Group D, let's see which team will go there. Group D is gonna be for season 19 champions, Mariottini. They are currently ranked at number 6. So moving on into the second half of the groups, Group E, and we'll have the Greek Redeli Konakia. Once again, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing the team names right, but I'm doing my best here. In Group F, we'll see the Polish team KS Pionski. Then in Group G, 2 teams left. And the team drawn in Group G will be Gosti iz Mostar from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And there is only 1 team left, so let's just spin it so that we know everything is correct. Last season finalists from Finland, Kautokeino Rascals, and they will be playing in Group H. So that's the first drawing pot. We have FC Mela in Group A, Group B for Sperber-Kreisel, the champions. Group C, the Mini Shakers. Group D, FC Mariottini, Redeli Konakia in Group E, Pionski in Group F, Group G for Gosti iz Mostar, and Group H for the Rascals. Also, I forgot to mention that we'll have 20 countries represented in this tournament. 5 teams from Italy, 4 teams from Romania, Estonia, Poland, Greece, England, and Finland will have 2 teams, and the countries that will be represented by only 1 team are Germany, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Denmark, Croatia, the United States, Canada, Cabo Verde, Norway, Senegal, Barbados, and Puerto Rico and Slovakia. So an interesting fact for you guys before we move on to the second drawing pot, where we'll have teams from position number 9 to position number 16. So I'll just read them really quickly. We have Bosolicchio Young from Italy. We have Linanma United, Nick from Italy, Ajax from Bulgaria, Into Kabili from Italy again, Veto Academy from Denmark, Sodnark from Estonia, and the Badgers from Poland. So I've got my wheel prepared here with all the teams, and let's start spinning that wheel. So let's see which team will join FC Mela in Group A. And it's going to be the top ranked team from that drawing pot, Bosolicchio Young from Italy. They will be playing against FC Mela. And let's see which team will be playing with the champions this season. It is the bottom place team from this drawing pot, the Badgers from Poland. Maybe a nice draw for Lemes. Let's see who joined the mini shakers in Group C. And it is going to be Veto Academy from Denmark. They will be in Group C. Group D, along with FC Mariotini, will be the Bulgarian team Ajax. So Ajax and Mariotini, I'm not sure. I think those two played together a few seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. In Group E, along with Redeli Kunakia, will be Linanma United from Finland. Another finalist in the competition. In Group F, we'll have Sodnerk from Estonia, and they will be playing against KS Pionski from Poland. Pionski have won the competition once so far. Cannot remember which season that was, but still I know they won it. Group G, Into Kabili Junior, and they will be joining Gosti iz Mostar. In Group G, and finally only 1 team left for last season finalists, and that will be the Italian Nick. They will be playing with Kautokeino Rascals. So there we have it. The second drawing pot is complete. Those are the groups. In Group A, we have FC Mela with Bozolicki Young. Group B, Sperber Kreisel and the Badgers. Group C, Mini Shakers and Veto Academy. Group D, Ajax and Mariotini. Group E, Redeli Kunakia and Linanma United. Group F, Pionski and Sodnerk. Group G, Ghost is Mostar and Into Kavili Jr. And Group H, Kautokeino Rascals and Nick. So there's the second drawing pot, and now we move on to the third drawing pot, where we have teams from position number 17 up until position number 24. So we have Junior Mambo, another Italian team, Maxtors from Croatia, PAOK from Greece, Gradini Terapit from Romania, the Chicken Nuggets from the US, Unirea Gauats from Romania, the Little League Gunners from England, and Cook St. Little Monsters from Canada. Those are the teams from the third drawing pot. And you can see I've prepared my wheel already, and let's spin it to see which team will join Bozolicki Young and Mela in Group A. and that is going to be one of the Romanian teams this season, Grădinița Rapid. And they go straight into Group A. Moving on to Group B, let's see which team will join the champions. And it's going to be the Chicken Nuggets from the US. Very, very interesting group right here. Next up, we have the Mini Shakers and Veto Academy in Group C. And they will be joined by Cook St. Little Monsters, and they are the bottom place team in that drawing pot. Only 3 points for the Canadian. Also a team from the EGW Youth Leagues. That's the Chicken Nuggets, of course. And yeah, we have, as I said, very interesting group in Group B. Now in Group D, let's see which team will join Mariotini and Ajax, and that is going to be PAOK FC from Greece. So PAOK going into Group D. And we move on to the second half of the groups. Group E, Redeli Kunakia and Linanma will be joined by Unirea Galați from Romania. Unirea, I think their manager won the Rookie of the Season award last season. And now he has a very, very tough group with the Greek Giants and Linanma, who have reached the final. Now we move on to Group F, Pionski and Sodnerk. They will be joined by the Italian Junior Mambo SC. And they're the top-ranked team in that drawing pot with 11 points. So, in theory, the toughest opponent for those two. Moving on to Group G. And we'll have Max Tors under 19 from Croatia. They're going into Group G along with Gosti's Mostar and into Kabili Junior. And finally, we have only one team left on the wheel, and those are the Little League Gunners from England. And they will be joining Nick and the Rascals in Group H. So that's the third drawing pot. As you can see, all the groups on your screens. FC Mela, Buzulikiu and Grădinița Rapid in Group A. Group B, the champions Sperber Kreisel, Badgers and the Chicken Nuggets. Group C, the Mini Shakers, Veto Academy and the Monsters. Group D for Mariotini, Ajax and PAOK. Group E, Redeli Kunakia, Linanma and Unirea. Group F, Pionski, Sodnerk, Junior Mambo, and Group G, Gosti's Mostar into Kabili and Max Tors, and in Group H, Kautokeino Rascals, Nick and Little League Gunners. Big names in Group G and Group H. Absolutely, those two groups are going to be very, very interesting, but I think ones to watch are Group E as well. Group F is looking very interesting as well. And yeah, I mean, all the groups pretty much look very, very interesting, but we have drawn the strongest teams in the competition, at least on paper. And yeah, the first three drawing pots are just, all the teams are big names. And now it's time to move on to the newcomers in the tournament. And we have actually 4 or 5 actually new teams this season, because one of them has replaced my team, because yeah, it's a long story, but anyways, we'll see Inter Skalica Juniors from Slovakia, making their debut in the competition alongside with Joker Young Academy, Young Dynamo, El Faro de Orey, and Deepwater Youngsters. And we have as well the Black Hole Rising Stars, who are back in the competition. Of course, that's our sponsor, El Magico Suro. He decided to play with his second team, so he hasn't played with that team for a long time in the competition, and his EHF rating has dropped, so he has to face now some of the big names. We have Notting Hill Glory from Norway, and finally we have the Young Soccer Ninjas from Cabo Verde, the only team with some points from the last 5 editions of the competition in this drawing pot. So now let's go to the wheel. You can see all the teams here, and let's start spinning with Group A. And the Black Rising Stars from Senegal will be joining Mela Bozulikio Junior, Bozulikio Young, and Gradinita Rapid. So tough draw for El Magico, but I believe that since he preferred to play with his second team, maybe he has better players there, and probably he could qualify for the knockout stage. But we'll see. We'll see. A very interesting group in Group A, and let's move on to Group B. So let's see which team you get, and it's one of the newcomers, El Faro de Orey from Puerto Rico. Tough draw for them to start their campaign in the competition for sure, facing the current champions and some other regular participants as well. Now moving on to Group C, we have other newcomers left, and Joker Young Academy, another newcomer drawn. He managed to sign up in the competition in the last moment, and they'll be joining Mini Shakers Veto Academy and Cook Saint Little Monsters in Group C. Let's see which team will join the others in Group D, and that will be Inter Skalica Juniors from Slovakia. Inter Skalica. An interesting story about this team is that it's owned by a user who has won the EHF Europa Cup and the Champions League as well. And actually, it's managed by his son. So it's a nice Christmas present for his son. And but maybe a tough challenge to start their life in the EHF Youth Championship in this group. So yeah, moving on to Group E. Unirea Galați, Linanma United, and Redeli Kunakia. Those three teams will be joined by Young Dynamo, another Romanian team, and we'll have the first local derby, I think, with both Romanian teams. Young Dynamo right here. They'll be joining their country mates from Romania, Unirea Galați. Not sure if we have teams from the same country in the other groups. Let me just go through them really quickly. Maybe some Italian teams somewhere. No, I think all the teams are split, and that's the first local derby. So it's going to be an interesting group. Now moving on to Group F, and we have Notting Hill Glory from Norway. Notting Hill. They will be joining Pionski, Sodnerk, and Junior Mambo. And here it's time to draw the team in Group G. Two teams remaining. Which team it's going to be? Deepwater Youngsters from Barbados. Deepwater Youngsters will be joining Max Stors under 19 into Kabeli Junior and Gosti is Mostar, and finally only one team left on the wheel. Let's spin it, and that is going to be Young Soccer Ninjas from Cabo Verde, the top ranked team from the fourth drawing pot, and they're joining Kautokeino Rascals, Nick, and the Little League Gunners in Group H. So warm welcome to the newcomers from our current champion writing in the chat, and warm welcome from me as well. With that concludes the group stage draw. You can see the groups on your screen. I'm not going to read them once again to embarrass myself with my pronunciation of the team names, but yeah, we're starting next week on Monday. We have two teams, both Romanian teams actually from the fourth drawing pot. I think there were Young Dynamo and Joker Young Academy. They're not eligible to play the first round of the competition, so there will be one lucky team from Group C and one lucky team from Group E who get the walkover win in the first round, but hopefully those two will be able to join the competition from the second round. Of course, if they fail to, like, not if they fail, but if they're not eligible to play for the second round, those two teams will be replaced by some of the top two teams from the reserves, which I think there was a team from the US and of course my own team. So you guys better be careful. You better not forget. Follow the thread in the forum, and yeah, that's about it. Um, I talked about the new format. We had the group stage draw, and I think we could wrap things up. And with that, I would like to wish you guys Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. If I won't be streaming, I think I could stream one more time before New Year. But if I don't, I wish you a Happy New Year as well. And I will see you around in the forums. So that was it. Thank you very much for watching. I will just now mix up all the groups in order to have the home and away fixtures as well. And I will publish the groups once they're mixed up on the website and in the forum as well. So stay tuned for that. Maybe that will happen in about 30 minutes. So yeah, nice Christmas, good start in 2023, and stay healthy. That is and those are our wishes. Those are the wishes from our champion. And with that, I wish you a good night and see you next time. Bye bye.